Enjoy 1% merchant commission when you accept Lanka Pay cards. Contact these banks today.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Times Online. Fresh off announcing the largest ever IPO of the Colombo Stock Exchange, Mr. Nuhuman Marikkar, the CEO of LTL Holdings, the power generation company, is here to discuss with us the ensuing progress of its company. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
To start off with, you just announced an IPO. You mentioned the share price at 14.50. Just explain to us about it.
That is a good question. When we value our company, the valuation of the company stood about 93 billion. And we had a share of 5.5 million initially, so late 2020 up to 16.5 million. Then we found that our share price was very high. Then we had to split it. Then we split it, one of the main reasons to make it affordable to everyone. The 14.50 per share is nominal share price which is affordable to general public. Our intention is actually to have as much as possible subscribers, and we are offering minimum 500 shares. Any individual who has in the range of about less than 10,000 rupees still can be a shareholder of our company, which we like because we want to broadcast the company really to the public to extract more public. That is one of the reasons that we went up to a price of 14.50, and it has good upside.
You have been like water to the drought of CSE in the recent past by announcing such a large IPO. But many wonder, Mr. Marikkar, that whether this is the right time.
The reason is we were planning for this for a long period. Some projects are in pipeline with us, and these projects need investments. As you all may know that since we started our company in 1980s, and we had only once capital infusion in 1996, that was about around 100 million rupees. We now expand, has become the largest power company in the country and also a largest power company in this region. When we are talking about, we are surpassing about 1000 megawatt of power. So we had to go for a capital raising. This project what we have pipeline now has to come onto the grid on right time to make the electricity available for the nation. So we as a company always came in where was the requirement and the need, the shortage was there. So this is the time that we have to come onto the grid and we have to complete the projects. We didn't plan the elections. It was a talk that it would go on few weeks later, but it was preponed. We could
You are
not
the one
change.
who set this timeline for your IPO. Moving on, Mr. Marikkar, you are shedding 22% of the company approximately, and you're unloading it to the general public to be participating in your company. Out of this, how much of commitment have you got so far?
I'm very happy to say, so it's being although the largest IPO, out of the 20 billion, as of now, we are almost nearly about 75% have been committed. We are expecting a few more days to go, and we are expecting that more contributions will come. A lot of interest are shown. Big investors, one of the notable thing is like when we talk to the investors, they were looking for this kind of stocks because this was kind of a real power generation stocks. It is essential, and for everything we need power. Some of the investors we told us they were very happy and they were looking for this kind of opportunity to get into a sector very stable and which illuminate the people indirectly. So they were more than investing for their returns obviously, and they were also satisfied about the operations and the ultimate outcome of the company. We are actually giving illumination to the general public and the people.
Colombo Stock Exchange was in dearth of company with strong fundamentals to be listed. Which brings me to the next question. Out of this commitment by the general public, how many foreign interest groups?
Yeah, as of now, we are yet to receive the big interest from the foreigners. We know that there are a couple of them already have approached and they have approached the brokers and working on that. And we hope that the foreigners will come when we start to trade. Political situation and the country is the few weeks away from the elections. Naturally, foreign investors have a
Are on a
concept
wait
called
and
wait
see
and see,
situation.
but we hope that they will see this is a very stable stock.
Mr. Marikkar, can you quickly explain your two major projects in the pipeline?
Yeah, one of the project is we have named it Sri Lanka, that is the solar project of 100 megawatt at Monaragala. This we received through a tender. This is one of the largest solar project going to happen in Sri Lanka. It's essential for the country because in adding of the renewable energy to the country. So this project is already in pipeline. We have signed the agreements. We have just started the work at sites. This is a project which will bring space for the other bigger investors, mainly from the foreign investors to look into the market, because otherwise always our renewable energy market was very small, 5 megawatt, 2 megawatt, 3 megawatt in the range. When somebody to come to the 100 megawatt range, there should be some setup available. The notable thing of this is we have discussed with the authorities and made these agreements related to this 100 megawatt is in the form of an internationally bankable agreement. So, anyone who comes in future, they have a set of project agreements which are internationally bankable, and that is a must, because whenever foreign company look at a country, they will see how the agreements are structured, what are the risk and how they are covered their investments. These are the normal things the foreign investors look for any country. Also to LNG suppliers to look into our country, because all this time our capacities was not enough. When it's a 300 megawatt one plant or the 200 megawatt another plant would not enough to bring LNG supply to the country. And when you have 1000 megawatt is sizable, and we am sure that foreign investors are looking to supply LNG. From LTL point of view, we have already signed an agreement with Petronet India, with the leading LNG supplier, the importer and the supplier in India, to bring first LNG to the country and to operate our power plants. These machines are not only diesel and the LNG capable, these machines can run with 30% hydrogen once it is available. How the hydrogen comes is we have to produce hydrogen, and with the renewable energy added to the national grid or in Sri Lanka, hydrogen manufacturing capacity which we can be done with the addition of the renewable energy. LTL is planning to venture into that whenever that hydrogen technology is going to be available, commercially viable. We are trying to use our own renewable energy to produce green hydrogen, which can be used on the Sobadanevi and the Sahastane power plant, help the environment and as well as the country's environmental targets and also the cost effectiveness of the total operation.
Mr. Marikkar, could you also explain to us about the way that you have helped the future investors of the country by providing blueprints of your agreements and things like that with this new project?
One of the things that LTL has contributed, but very silently, the agreements that we have reached, which has gone through the few months of tedious negotiations, and what we have made those agreements is bankable for any foreign institutions and any foreign lenders. When we go for a big capacities of the power plant, we are talking about $200-300 million investments, and the lenders has to come on to that level. They would see how strong these agreements are. LTL has always been taken a fair amount of time to structure these agreements with the authorities, covering all possible aspects of risk, the returns and any force majeure situations and all those kind of things what happen within the operation period of 20 or 25 years. And those agreements are in place in well order. I am sure that this will help the foreign investors to follow, because they have something already on table which they can adjust their projects or make some changes to as suitable for their projects. That will open
The
market for the foreign investors.
You have spread your wings across different regions, Africa as well as Asia. Why did you decide to do this, and what are your plans in the future for these regions?
Our electrification is gradually reached to almost now 99.5%. When it comes to the 100%, yes, you have a growth, but not that great like earlier. So then we had to look for new markets to expand our sales within the company and to grow our sales. And we started with exporting of transformers to Iraq in 2003, a country which by that time no one was like to look at, but we took a risk of exporting our first consignment to Iraq. Since then we never stopped. We expanded to all other regions, Middle East and the African regions, and that was on a supply of our product. Then we came for power generations, very much established in the Southeast Asia and mostly done by the government utilities. Then certain countries opened it. Sri Lanka is one of the countries opened of the private sector. Then Bangladesh opened it, and they had a big plan for attracting foreign investors, and we were one of the companies went in. We took some time to settle it there, but we expanded. Now we have 3 power plants operating. Then we moved to a regional country like Nepal for a different type of power plants, and now we see that the next option for us is Africa. Africa is still only 40% to 50% electrified in general. Certain countries are there which already have reached 99 to 100%, but most of the countries it's average 40 to 50%. So we will target into move into that, because we are there for last 10 years with supply with of products and other minor services. I will gradually invest into Africa. The question of why, because we go for where the demand is.
Demand is, absolutely. You also mentioned about the Tanzanian operation.
Planning to put up transformer manufacturing plant, because East Africa has few countries like Kenya, Ethiopia, Uganda, Tanzania. These countries in average electrification is still around 50%. And we have been supplying transformers to those countries over the last 10 years. And now what we need is, like, rather than manufacturing here and exporting, we will go and establish there, where then we can go close to the customer, and we also can avail the other tax benefits by being a local company there. And also we can contribute to the local industry to build up the knowledge with the local people. We see a big opportunity. Our product is known on those countries, so we have brand. They know LTL transformers, so it's easy for us to penetrate to the market. That was the one reason that we thought we should quickly establish our production facilities.
Mr. Marikkar, what about the countries that you might be having power plants, or you're planning to have power plants in the African region?
The countries we are looking for is mainly Uganda and Tanzania, also Rwanda, the countries which are open for private sector. The administration system are more friendly for foreign investors.
And have you initiated discussions with those countries?
We are at a preliminary level.
Very nascent stage.
Yeah.
Right. Finally, Mr. Marikkar, 70% of LTL's income is foreign currency or foreign derived. So this is actually a dollarized company. It was explained the company is more attractive for investors. So do you plan to go on your expansion spree, as it were?
That is actually yes and no, because when we expand in Sri Lanka, yes, there is a local rupee component in it, but again, I would say these major power purchase agreements are always dollar linked. So even if we expand in Sri Lanka with new projects, their revenues are based on the dollar. When we say the dollar derived or dollar linked, we still have the same facilities in Sri Lanka. Similarly, when you go to foreign countries, obviously they are on foreign currencies, though we go with our agreements in dollar or euro. In Sri Lanka also, whenever we go for a big power plants, our agreements are in part of our tariff are in dollars. So yeah, I would say like we will not going to deviate much from our foreign income or foreign currency linked revenues. It will continue in future.
Thank you very much for that candid discussion, Mr. Marikkar, and thank you very much for joining Times Online to discuss about LTL Holdings and its future plans. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for joining us.